Hello, this is the Home Doc. I just wanted to show you a ceiling fan I'm putting in today in our bedroom for Valentine's Day. My wife wanted a new one put in, so the old one we had was about 15 years old, so I think we got enough use out of that. The bearings started humming and it started making a lot of noise, so we're going to go ahead and change it out. And I want to show you a few of the tools and things we're going to use to be able to do this project. All right, so basically, I got a Phillips screwdriver, needle nose pliers, straight screwdriver, and a voltage checker to make sure there's no voltage, on the circuit, and some electrical tape. But this fan actually is it has a digital motor, and it's kind of a smart fan. It has a remote control, and you can control the fan speed, the direction, and everything with the remote control here, and also the light, and it has a timer and everything. And to be able to set this up, because we have one exactly like this in our family room, you have to set up a code, and it has these dip switches in there, and it has 32 different codes that you can put. So the one in the family room is a default, so we have them all on. But this one, I just put number 5 down, and you have the same on the remote. So we basically just put that to 5 is down on that. So you got to set that up. And then you have, your blue wire goes to your light, then your black and your white go to the ceiling fan motor. And then you have the black and the white here that goes to the actual switch that's actually over on the wall. Like I said, I went ahead to save some time. I put the fan blades on the motor already. I did that, and I was going to hook up the rest of the components while you watch. But the old fan is right there. I took most of the blades off of that, and the lighting kit. I could just take that off and everything. But I want to show you that also. But let's. I want to set the tripod over here so you can watch how I put this together. Because like I say, it's a different type of fan. It's not as basic as the one that's up there now, because the fan blades are actually kind of hidden on this one. But let me try and get you a good picture here. All right. Okay, so what you got to do first, you got the cover. You got to take this off anyway first. And then you put this back on. You get the wiring back in there. And there's a directional switch there for your direction that you have to line up. So I'll go ahead and put the screws back on this. And see, you had to basically take this off to be able to get the fan blades mounted. Okay. Sorry, the dogs are kind of whining a little bit. They want to go outside in the snow, so so it's kind of whining a little bit. All right, and these screws, you don't really want to tighten them all up at the same time. You kind of want to have them all loose first, and then you go around and tighten them, because you'll make sure they all line up. You don't want to tighten them up too quick, because then you'll strip something. So let's tighten all these up. All right, and then the next, this is like a drop fan. It drops down about 2 inches, well, actually probably 4 inches, sorry, about 4 inches from the ceiling. So then you got this here piece that you have to take the pin out first, and then you run the cord, the power, everything through here. And then you have to screw this part into the motor assembly. And then after you do that, then you have to line up you line up and put the pin back in. Put this pin back in here. And that's so when it's running, it won't come off of its threads, you know, while it's spinning. And also we have to take this here's got to come off. This pin here comes off, and then this symbol here comes off. So take that off real quick, and then we got to put the rest of the pieces on there. So we have this piece that covers the screws down here in the okay, so that goes on. So it kind of covers that whole, so it makes it looks more of a finished look. All right, and then after we do that, then you have to put on, you got this piece here goes on. It kind of sits there, and then this piece. Okay, like that. So that goes on there. All right, and then we put this piece back on, because what this will do, this is going to sit in a carriage, the bracket that goes to the ceiling. It's going to sit there. And the wire is so long because of if you want to have a longer drop, you know, you can easily do it. And that's kind of why it's so, you know, you probably say, oh, why is the wire so long? And that's why. So then you got to put this in here, the pin, put the pin back, and then you screw it back down, and that locks it in. Okay, it locks it in like that. All right, so then basically once I take the old fan down, I will mount this up, and then this will slip. This will basically allow this to slip in there, and it will sit into that carriage, see, like that. All right, so let's change your angle. What you got on here. And let's move this tripod over here to a different location. And then we'll be able to turn you up here, up to the fan, yeah, where we're at. And I'll show you, make sure you check for power. Let's see here. I think that's pretty good. All right, okay, so let's get this old fan down. I'll move this over a little bit so I can get some room, because the only bad thing is we got the bed in the way, so it's kind of hard to get it. And so I gotta take this old fan, the light off, light assembly. And like I said, I did split the switch off over near the door. We'll make sure that's off. And then before we disconnect any wiring or anything, we'll check to make sure that there's no power on our cord. And then there's on the old fan, or any fan, you have a place here that you can put your screwdriver up into and get your blades off. And like I said, I took most of the blades off. I'm trying to make this video faster. So I took all the blades off except this one here. So we got that. Take that one off. So now you have this assembly here. And you usually, any type of fan you have, which most of them are the same, there's little differences, but you have this housing that covers the motor. And it basically has screws on either side that you loosen up, and this will slip right off. It slips off like that. Okay, put that on the bed, and then we have this bracket up here. It's a little bit different than the other, but the motor's attached to it, and that's attached to the ceiling. So we have to loosen these up. But actually, before we loosen that up, let's check the voltage, make sure there's no voltage on the wiring. We use our Fluke voltage checker, which I'm an electrician on my job that I go to, and we use these all the time. And they're about $20. And like I said, I bought one for the house too. So see, it flashes red, and you basically, there's no power, you know, on the, if it was solid red, it would be power if it was solid, but it's not. So we're good. But they're handy to have. You know, anytime you're doing any type of maintenance or any kind of electrical work, just to be safe and make sure you're not going to get electrocuted, you know. So I'll put my foot down here, just give me some more. And then take these screws off. There's 4 of them up here holding this one. think I said it before, but this fan was kind of humming, and so it was causing a lot of noise. So we're gonna taking that off. Yeah, we have a couple puppies. One's a year old, one's 6 months old, and my son went outside, and they want to go outside too. So there's a little bit of whining in the background from them. But we have a bell on the door. He's ringing the bell. So, but you'll see those sometime probably. All right. So let's slide this over and bring it down. I'm just going to have this. There's these anti-vibrating pieces. Bring it down there, and then I'll just take these this tape off and the wire nuts. It's a little difficult when you're working above your head. I'm just going to pull that off there a little bit, and I'll clean it up. Makes it a little bit lighter. Okay. And like I said, electrical it's not. Don't be scared of it. You just got to make sure you're respected. Make sure there's no power on the system. And I mean, if you want to really be cautious, you can turn the breaker off. For this room. But yeah, that's that. So we got that all disconnected, and now I got to take this bracket off. And this box here, you got to make sure when you want to have a ceiling fan box. It's a heavier duty box that's fastened to the studs and the joist above the on the ceiling. You just don't want to have a regular light fixture box up there, because that's not enough support. These fans are kind of they're heavy, and when they're moving, they cause a lot of problems there. So I'm gonna put this in my pocket, so we'll need that again. And so let's undo this. Like I say, working above your head's it's not too easy. I do have power tools I could use, but sometimes I just like to get the feel, because sometimes I strip things out, if you I don't want to do that. All right. So I got that down, and now I got to put this other bracket up. So this goes up, and we'll stick the power cord there. Well, yeah, let's see, I'll stick it like this here. Make sure it's outside it. Okay. Okay, meet the other one. Dasher making a lot of noise down there. You don't like it. You don't like being left. All right. Make some progress here. Like I say, it's not too easy working above your head, but it won't be too bad now, because we got most of the fan already together. The blades and everything are on one. We just got to hook up the controller, the remote control unit. Okay. So that's all sturdy. And you see that box is, man, it's solid. So that box is actually fastened to the floor joists in here. It's like a metal bracket, and it's bolted to that. So it's very strong. So you can probably hang from it if you wanted to, but so just make sure you got that going. And all right, now we gotta hook this box up. And like I told you before, you got the black and the white, and then you get the black and white here. So we'll just hook those up. Let me see if I can get this wire and push it up in the box. I don't want to cut any of it off. I like to always have like extra, you know, just in case you need some later on. But this is 12 gauge, which, you know, you can really just use 14 gauge. But when I wired this house up, I just did 12 everywhere, you know. Okay, there we go. So now I'm gonna hook up this and give a wire, some wire nuts, which I got some right here. Take this little wire off. I mean this electrical tape. Let's see. Kind of hard to need some better lighting here, but very good. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of an overcast day. It's snowy, so all right. Okay. Now I'll put these wire nuts on here. And hopefully, you know, you're learning something from this, and please make some comments, you know, if you have a better way, or, you know, just give me suggestions, positive or negative. You know, I'm trying to make this channel better and make people, you know, learn something, hopefully. And not be so, sometimes you're a little, you know, I know I use YouTube a lot just to get ideas and to make sure I'm doing something right. And sometimes watching another person do it gives you a little confidence to do it yourself. Because hopefully this channel, trying to, you know, have ways to save money and to, you know, to be able to do things yourself and independently. Okay, and like I said, this box here is a basically it's a receiver. You know, it's receiving the remote signal, so you can keep the switch on near the door, and then you can actually use your remote control to turn the light on and the fan speed and the time you want it to run. All right. Okay, so these, I'm going to keep those like that. And then we got the ground for the chassis, well, the actual bracket. And so you go wiring up for that. Okay. Okay, put some tape on that too. And you know, like I say, some people just use wire nuts only, but I like using the wire nuts and the tape because it makes it a little more secure. I know where I work at, they don't allow wire nuts because over time the wiring will get loose and it will come undone. You know, it's not really the best connection. You know, so that's why I kind of put some tape on there just to you know, kind of keep it strong. You know, keep it tight. All right, so I got all that, and now I believe I'm ready for the fan. And like I said, I got a lot of wire here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some of this wire off. And to be honest with you, I've got wire strippers. So you know, use some wire strippers. Well, I can use these cutters here. But so let's cut it down on maybe about a foot instead of 6 feet. And I'm going to step down for a minute so I can get a good grip on it here. And I will strip these wires back, so then it'll be easier once I'm up there on the ladder or the bed there. I can, there we go. Yep. like I say, you can strip wires with these Enos have cutters on them. So, and I've been doing electrical work for a long time. You kind of get a feel for, cutting wire and things. Okay, I'm just going to twist these up a little bit. All right. Okay, so now let's see here. This fan, it should be able to go right on up there. Let's see how it does here. Okay, see, it sits in that. It sits in there like that, and then we got this here, the transducer, or the receiver. Sorry about that. Receiver. That's got to go up here, and it goes above where that sits in. Like I said, it's pretty tight spot here. Actually, I might run this on the other side if I can, just because there's so much going on right here. That video, you probably can't see so much going on here, but what I'm doing, I'm trying to get this in so I can wire it up here. But it's a little tricky because it's so close in here. Ooh. Okay. All right, so now I have to connect this side over here. And we got the black wire to black. Let's wire it to a pocket. And too, I'm on top of a bed here too, so it's not as easy to work off a bed. Not as stable. So I'm gonna pull the wire nuts on first. And this fan is a little bit different because a lot of times you put the motor and like the other fan, you put all that on first, and then you put your blades on. But this one you got to have all your blades on first, just because of the style, of it. Okay, and then get all these up. So the wire nut on here, and then I'll get the tape. I'll tape all these wire nuts up. Tape all these up, and ready to put the lighting kit on. And this is actually a LED light on this one. And they're actually right nice. It's dimmable. And it works pretty well, and it lasts, you know, LEDs last a long time, and they're energy efficient. And so they're good. Good fans. I mean, they're good. All right. All right, so I got all these all done. And I was going to put all these wire nuts on this side. It's got a lot going on right in this little area. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I'll get up there and do that, and then I'll finish this up in a few minutes, because it's kind of, I got to get it all up in there good. And there we go. And then this piece goes on there too, so I got to get that. And then I'll put and then your lighting, I'll come on down because you can't really see too well, but then you have your lighting circuit down here. And you basically have to put, you got to unscrew, get a screwdriver, you got to unscrew one of these, and then you got to loosen the other ones up. Excuse me. Woo, dusty up here. All right, so we got that there. Okay, so it gets like that, and it goes on there, and then okay, so that screws in. And this screws in here, like that. And then we get the light, this light fixture here. And then you unscrew from here. Okay, and then this goes in. And I gotta tighten all this up here. And tighten all that up, and then this here goes on like this. There we go. All right, so okay. Okay, and then basically, see, turn the power back on, and you got the remote control here. So then you can turn it up